Good afternoon, everyone. Lovely to see so many people here for this presentation about the Bachelor of Media. I hope you're all having a great day and that you're not too overwhelmed with information. I'll try not to overwhelm you too much more if you are, by focusing on some of the key points about the media degree. My name's Dr. Kathryn and I'll be talking to you for the first little while and running through some of the key points about the degree and what you might hope to get out of it. And then there are also a couple of other speakers who will be coming up to tell you a little bit about their particular areas of focus. If only I could get this to work. Okay. Sorry, we appear to be having some technical problems. Excellent. Ooh. Okay, we might just have a little moment of fixing the technical problems. I apologise for this.
Yes, when you use here, just... Okay, it's just here.
There, thank you. Okay.
This one exactly. Oh, you probably with that one is better for you.
That one? Okay, thanks.
Yes, it's better for you.
Thanks. Okay, so not only is applying to uni fairly confusing, but clearly so is me working a Mac. So I apologise for those technical problems, but we should be good to go now. Applying to uni is something which can be confusing. There's a lot of things to think about. There's a lot of choices to make. So hopefully I'll be able to clarify some of those points for you in the next little while. So the kinds of questions you might have are what choices you have around tailoring a degree to fit your interests and the things that you want to focus on, either while you're studying or later on in your career. Questions about career are of course important because while it's great to be studying and it's enjoyable to be studying, ideally there needs to be an end point, there needs to be a career goal, an aim, something that you would like to do with your life. And there's also the question of international experience, because being at uni is a great opportunity to develop some international experience, to see what the rest of the world has to offer in your area of study and your area of potential career interest. So those are some of the questions that I'm going to focus on in this presentation today. So the media degree is made up of a number of different components, and there are a number of different ways of putting it together. So there are a number of media courses or subjects that everyone who is enrolled in the media degree does. So they're the foundation for everyone who's studying media. And here are some of the examples of the basic core level courses that anyone coming into the media degree in their first year will do. We've got a course called, unsurprisingly, Introduction to Media, which looks at the basic knowledge and skills in the area of media, digital platforms, which focuses on things like photography and web design, broadcast TV and radio, which teaches you about the industries around broadcast, and also a course called Story Technology, which is an introduction to video. And they're something that all media students do in their first year. There are also some core courses that students in their second and third year go on to do, and they cover things like media policy and media law, because being able to understand the law and policy and how these impact on the way the media work is crucial to practice in the area of media. We also focus on media research methods, because research and media are very closely linked to each other, a little bit of media theory, and also a course called Professional Practice. And professional practice is taught every year in collaboration with a range of industry partners. The partners change from year to year. So these are some of the examples of the industry partners that we've worked with over the last few years. So things like the Botanic Gardens, Mission Australia, Radio Adelaide, and they're just a few. And it's a great opportunity for students to work on projects which are directly relevant to the industry partners that they're working with. So it's that real-world collaboration and that real-world engagement, not just about studying, but also about putting those skills and that knowledge to work in an applied environment. And students in the media degree also have the opportunity to do a range of electives, and there is a huge list to choose from. Both media-specific electives and more general electives across the university. So the media-specific ones include things like radio and video production, digital games, which I know is an area of interest for a lot of people, Asian film and television, political communication, and usually several more as well. And we work very closely in some of these with Radio Adelaide, which is the community radio station, very handily located just across the road, just on the other side of North Terrace. So we work with Radio Adelaide quite a bit. And that's another terrific opportunity for students to put their experience and their skills into practice in a real-world context with a real-world audience. Important thing to think about, of course, for anyone starting a degree is where they're likely to end up. And that includes both for, in the shorter term, internships and placements, but in the longer term also, of course, for employment. So these are some of the places where students both go on internships and where graduates, in fact, have ended up working. And I'm not going to go through the list. It's a long list. It covers a range of areas. It covers things like TV and radio. It covers publishing. It covers advertising and public relations. It covers marketing, sport, the corporate sector, not-for-profits, government, and so on. So a huge list. And this is places where in the last few years, graduates have ended up, and also quite a number of those are places where current students are able to do internships. And every student in media has the opportunity to do an internship, usually in their final year. And the internship is built around a semester-long project which focuses not just on the actual internship itself, where students go out into a professional environment, but also project work that is based around that. So that's a valuable opportunity for every student to put their skills into practice and to really see how what they've learnt is valuable to them in the workplace. So there's a number of choices for students who come into the media degree. There's an option to do the degree as a single degree major. So it's a Bachelor of Media where the major is media, and there are a range of choices around different electives. And as you can see on the Prezi, you've got choices around humanities, social sciences, languages, and quite a lot of other uni courses. So what it means is that if you come into the Bachelor of Media as a single degree, then you've got a major in media, which is around about half overall of the degree, plus the opportunity to either generalise or to specialise in other areas from all sorts of parts of the university. So if you know, as someone who's coming into this degree, that you're definitely interested in media, because why would you be doing it otherwise, but you have a strong interest in, say, a language, for example, you've got the opportunity to develop that. So that's one option. Another option is to specialise. And there's a number of opportunities for specialisation within the degree, because we also offer majors within the media degree in 3 other main areas, one of which is marketing, another of which is journalism, and the third is media production. And so students who enrol in one of those areas still do the major in media, but also do, as a second major area, study in one of those 3 areas, so journalism, marketing, or production. And one of the really good things about the majors is that these are not choices that you have to make until after you've started the degree. So if you're interested, for example, in doing media with a major in marketing or with a major in journalism, you don't have to make that choice before you start. That's not what you nominate on your SATAC form. You just choose the Bachelor of Media. And after that, after you've had a chance to settle into the degree, find out what it is that you're interested in, find out where you might want to take your studies in the future. That's when you make the decision about, do you want to pursue another major? And if you do, which major do you want to pursue? Because the majors start after 1 or 2 semesters of study. So it means you've got at least a semester as a new student to kind of get a feel for the place and the degree and what it's all about and what you might want to do. And you might decide then to continue on with the single major degree, and that's absolutely fine, that's great. Or you might decide you want to opt for one of the majors, because the marketing major and the production major start in the second half of first year, the journalism major starts in the first half of second year. So quite a bit of time to think about it. And all of the majors make up roughly 1/3 of the total degree. So half of it is made up of media, about 1/3 of it is made up of one of the other majors if you choose to go down that path, and the other 1/3 is other stuff. It's electives and it's choices and things that you can really add to the degree to make it your own. So the journalism major, as it says, you choose to specialise when you're ready. You don't have to pick before you start uni. And some of the things that happen in the journalism major, and that's mainly I teach in that area, that's my main area of interest as far as teaching goes, are fundamentals of news reporting. We work very closely with Radio Adelaide. For example, third-year students who are doing one of the core courses within the journalism major get to spend a semester working over at Radio Adelaide, producing morning and afternoon news. And they do that for a week at a time, producing news bulletins at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then similarly in the afternoon for a week at a time, working in small groups. And that's terrific real-world experience because they're writing real news as it happens for a real audience who will phone up and complain if they're not happy. So, you know, it's tremendously valuable experience. And so within the journalism major, there are courses like that, which are core courses, and there are also elective options. And media production, I'm not going to focus on very much at the moment because I'm going to hand over to someone who is an expert in the area in a little while. But the media production majors are taught through the Creative Industries Centre at Tea Tree Gully, TAFE. And the reason that we do that is because they have the expertise in teaching in those areas, and they also have the specialist equipment and resources that are needed to do it. So essentially that's where the expertise is, that's where the resources are, so that's where our students need to be learning about those areas of media production. And within the under the broad umbrella of media production, there are 5 options: CGI and digital effects, digital production, game art, graphic design, and photographic imaging. So students going into one of those media production majors choose one of those 5 options. So I'll leave that one for now because I'll let Larry talk about that shortly. The third main choice that students can make around the media degree is combining it with another degree to make a double degree. So instead of coming out of uni with one degree with maybe a specialisation or a second major, you end up with two pieces of paper, one of which will say Bachelor of Media and the other of which will say something else. And one of the great things about a double degree is it gives you another way to specialise. It does give you a second degree, but it usually only adds a little bit extra to the amount of time that it takes you to complete. So double degrees, or single degrees, typically 3 years. So the straight-out Bachelor of Media or the Bachelor of Media with one of the majors is 3 years. The double degree is either 4 or 5, depending on which one it is. So essentially, yeah, you're getting a super major for your second degree. So one option is to choose Bachelor of Media and Bachelor of Arts, and that's a very popular double degree. And we've in fact got a current student from that who's going to talk to you in a little while. And you can see some of the choices there that students can make around the kinds of majors they can choose within their arts degree. So they could be doing media alongside creative writing, which is a great combination, or media alongside a language, and so on. A second option is to do the Bachelor of Media and the Bachelor of International Studies, which provides a range of opportunities further down the track for employment and also a range of opportunities for different experiences while you're at uni. We encourage as many students as possible across the Bachelor of Media to make the most of opportunities to study abroad, but certainly for students doing the double degree with international studies, it's even more crucial. So students have the chance to do student exchanges, for example, or to do short-term intensive courses that are located in other parts of the world. So these are some of the places that students can go on an exchange. And like I said, any Bachelor of Media student has the opportunity to go on an exchange. So there's places like the University of Sheffield in the UK, or the University of Canberra in New Zealand for something a little bit closer to home, Osaka University in Japan, Seoul National University in South Korea, National University of Singapore, several universities in the US. So plenty of opportunities there. And generally speaking, students who go on an exchange will go to a university where there are similar kinds of degrees. So the study that you do at the international university very much complements the study that you are doing here, and vice versa for that matter. And then there are also some short-term options. For example, one of the ones that we offer at the moment is an intensive fashion marketing and public relations course, which is run in Italy. Great. Or a digital media business and research course, which is run in the US. And another example, we've just had some students who've come back from doing a winter intensive over, I think it was 2 weeks in Kyoto in Japan, in the area of Japanese media industries and cultures. And clearly they had a terrible time, but look at that photo. So yeah, they've only been back a few weeks and apparently it was great. It was the first time we'd run that particular intensive and it seemed to go very, very well indeed. And the third double degree combination is law, which is a very popular one as well because it's crucial to good practice in media to have an understanding of how the law works, but also it opens up avenues for specialisation within law practice. So the three double degree options are arts, international studies and law. So overall, some of the really strong benefits of the media degree are the fact that it is flexible and you've got three basic options: single degree with a specialist major, double degree, and within that there are choices around electives. So really you can make the degree fit what you're interested in and where you want to go. It's also fun, because really what's not to love about playing with the media? You know, there are lots of options, there are lots of practical options, there are things like intensive overseas winter schools, so things that are both beneficial, they're both great learning experiences, but also a lot of fun. It does enhance your employment prospects at the end and gives you plenty of opportunities to develop your skills, your knowledge, and put those into practice and to move into a range of areas. It's not just focused on one single career outcome, it's focused on a very broad range of outcomes with that list that I showed you a little while ago. And it's a creative kind of degree. It allows people to develop their skills as well as develop their imagination and put both of those together to come up with some amazing projects. And quite a lot of the work that we do within the Bachelor of Media degree is project-based. So it means that the parameters of the project are your starting point, but where you go from there is really limited only by your imagination. So we've got an open day stand. Some of you may have found it already. It's way down the other end of the campus. If you go past the library, past pretty much everything, but not quite as far as the Torrens. We're in the car park down the back in a big marquee. So there'll be plenty of people there to answer any questions you may have later. But before we do anything else, I'm going to hand over to Larry Keeg, who's from TAFE SA, and he's going to talk a little bit about the media production side of things. Thank you, Larry.
Thanks, Kathryn. I'm just going to show you some video compilation of the 4 elective streams that we are offering in conjunction with the B Media course. And that way you've got something to look at. This is all student work from the last 18 months. It's a combination of CGI visual effects, digital production, photo imaging, and graphic design. The Adelaide University Bachelor of Media elective program is delivered at the Creative Industries Centre of TAFE SA, based at the Tea Tree Gully campus. Each program has specialist lecturing staff with extensive industry experience, and the Tea Tree Gully campus, if you look at Google Maps, may seem a long way away geographically, but you can get there in 15 minutes from the city just on the O-Bahn. So it's not too far away for those of you that are coming from far afield. We have fantastic facilities with a brand new photographic, graphic design and digital production studios. Digital production, for those that don't know, is the old-fashioned print, which is now moving to web delivery and tablets and that kind of thing. Each student has their own up-to-date computer with current industry standard hardware and software. The focus in TAFE, as you're probably aware, you probably think of it in terms of trades and getting apprenticeships and stuff like that. Well, we focus on hard skills, what we call hard skills. So you're sitting there learning the software, learning how to build this stuff, how to make it, how to design it. So students follow along with lecturer demonstrations in computer suites or practical classes in studios. So it's quite a different learning environment to the university, which some people have a little bit of trouble adjusting to. So it's very hands-on. You do 4 consecutive 12-week semesters, commencing in the second semester of your first year of your media degree. As Kathryn mentioned, you do some basic production skills in your first semester, and that will give you a bit of an idea then to choose which of the 4 you come to do with us. You can't do all 4, unfortunately. You have to pick which one you want to do. And then you finish your 4th semester halfway through your 3rd year of your degree. Currently, it's 1 day a week, currently Fridays, that the students come out to us, and the day is split into 2 3-hour lectures with a very relaxing long lunch break of an hour. The Tea Tree Gully campus is right next door to the Westfield Shopping Centre, so there's a big food court there, and you've got a whole hour to go and find yourself something to eat. There is a cafeteria on the campus, and there's nobody from the cafeteria here, so just bring your bank manager before you go there. I didn't say that. Currently, the CGI, visual effects and game art elective, if I describe a little bit about that, that's my background, and that's what I lecture in, is CGI and visual effects. We've combined the visual effects and the game art together in the first 2 semesters because there's a lot of overlap to do with the 3D side of things. So in the first 2 semesters of the 4-semester program, you'll be doing visual effects and game art as 2 separate lectures. And then after the 2 semesters, once you've been exposed to the different parts of the program and all the different jobs in the industry, you'll be able to pick whether the last 2 semesters you go and specialise in visual effects or you go and specialise in game art. Currently, our elective is the only one that's so far got a reverse articulation organised. The other 3 are currently working on this. The photography, photo imaging, is only a diploma, 1-year diploma, not a 2-year full-time advanced diploma. So they're working on their reverse articulation. If you complete the 4 semesters of our elective program as part of your B-Media degree, you will then be given credit for our first-year full-time diploma degree. So if you wanted to finish and push your industry skills right to the maximum in a particular field of your choice, then you can come back and do, after your degree, 1 year with us in the advanced diploma full-time to get your advanced diploma. Okay, so doing the elective program as part of Adelaide B-Media, you won't be gaining any of our qualifications, but you will be getting the skills, the basic industry skills ready for that last final year, if that makes sense. And the video is finished, so that means I've been speaking for 3 minutes, and that's my time. So, as Kathryn said, if you want any more information, we've got our own stall right next door to them. If you want to come and find out more about our elective programs in the media production side of the degree, please come down if I haven't seen you already. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Larry. And now, last but by absolutely no means least, we've got a current student. Here's one we prepared earlier. This is James, and he's a current 3rd-year Media and Arts double degree student. Thank you, James.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm James. As they said, I'm in my 3rd year of a Bachelor of Media and Bachelor of Arts, and I'm super happy to actually come out here and tell you all about the media degree because it's actually super fun, it's super flexible, and I feel like it's preparing me really well for what I want to get into, really. I guess the first thing I want to say is that I know a lot of you still might not know where you want to end up in the future, and that's all right because I'm the same, and I still was like that until my 2nd year, and I'm still not entirely sure. So I guess all I really knew what I wanted to do was to get into a field that I liked and things that interested me, such as, film and television and writing and social media and that sort of thing. And I guess this sort of degree is perfect for that, really. I've always been more of a creative thinker. So what I wanted out of a degree was something that would allow me to think creatively and be creative, but also at the same time challenge me to do different things and get me out of my comfort zone. And I guess after researching unis for the entirety of my year 12, I finally decided to come to Adelaide here for the media degree because it really popped out and seemed everything that I wanted to do. What ultimately attracted me was having the flexibility to enroll in media and arts, and having that flexibility in the arts degree gave me the chance to do things like English and creative writing. But in the media degree, I get to do more hands-on, full, intense, media stuff. Media degree here is really, really great. I can't actually tell you how much fun I actually have studying here, and that's a weird thing to say. When you're looking into things like TV and Facebook and video games, you can't help having fun. But it's also more than that. The media degree is so popular and so useful because it encompasses so much. You learn about film production and audio-visual editing and all that, but you also get into journalism, radio production, and public relations. Basically, the media degree can prepare you for a lot of jobs and give you a lot of opportunities. For example, you might be interested in journalism but be worried about the decline in print media. Well, with all the skills you learn from journalism, you could easily get into PR, and every organization in the world needs PR, so there's no shortage of jobs in that sort of area. The The other great thing that attracted me to the degree is the possibility of interning with a media organisation. Uni Adelaide is really pushing for giving students practical experience, which is, really, really good and super useful. So even before you graduate, you'll likely have a foot in the door somewhere. Like at the moment, I'm doing an arts internship, which is slightly different, but I guess doing a double degree, that's another good thing, because you can end up doing multiple internships. So I suggest doing that sort of thing. I guess my biggest suggestion for new students are things like, you only get out what you put in. You need to put in the effort and go the extra mile if you want to come out on top, because let's be honest, it's a pretty competitive field. Even in your first year, I'd encourage you to think about placement, volunteer in arts organizations around the city, or even start up your own little projects like writing something or creating a blog. There's even On D here, which is the student magazine, and it's super professional looking and cool, so I suggest you look into that. Of course, if you're doing something you love, it hardly feels like work at all, and you'll be a lot happier putting in the effort, which, as I said before, is one of the reasons I love the media degree. Also, there are a number of specialized streams in the course if you have a passion for an area of media in particular. Like you can do a journalism major or a video game related degree, and more if you just do a straight media degree. But if you want to get 2 papers at the end like I do, then I suggest doing a double degree. Just have that little extra something on your belt. I'll admit, you're going to have to do a lot of essays and a bit of research and stuff, but another great thing about the course is that it mixes practical work with theory as well, even from like the first semester. Of course, you don't get the super hands-on experience until later years in the degree, but that doesn't mean the theory classes aren't any less fun or engaging, because media theory, surprisingly, was actually one of my favorite classes I've ever done. And the teachers here are also really supportive and helpful, and when you get into an adult learning environment like uni, you start to appreciate that even more. They'll help you with work, but also help you build up a network and let you know when any opportunities arise, and Kathryn's very good at that. Of course, you need to be able to work a bit more independently at uni, but having a strong support really helps. Also, the people you meet doing the course are great. It's awesome meeting like-minded, talented, and creative people in your classes. I mean, the uni experience is a billion times better if you have people around you to, occasionally complain about assignments with, because it makes you feel a bit better about them. And I'm sure you'll all help each other with assignments now and then. There's also a media association here, which helps organize things like pub crawls and bowls, which are always a lot of fun. Yeah, I guess just to sum up, the media degree is heaps of fun, super interesting, and also very, very valuable. If you want to translate your passion for The Simpsons or Angry Birds into a career, or looking for skills that could be used in basically any industry, the media degree is definitely one for you. So thanks, guys. I hope to see you next year.
Thanks very much for that, James. And we didn't pay him to say any of that. So yeah, hopefully you've managed to obtain some useful information from the presentation. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions sort of out the front there afterwards, or feel free to come down to the media stand or the TAFE stand in the tent. If you head down that way, if you fall in the Torrens, you've gone too far, but if you stop just beforehand, you'll probably find roughly where we are. And there are plenty of people around on campus who can point you in the right direction. So enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, I hope to see some of you next year, the year after, subsequent years.